Alright, we do folks your boy Marks 1205 numbers after the Nalo Marcos and Friends action Overcooked 2. Y'all already know how we be is doing over here, on with the captain, on with the crew. Oh boy, we got a lot going on here. Excuse me if you hear a little buzzing sound as well, man. For some reason, the original capture, it was a live commentary kind of thing, and we just didn't speak for the whole video, so I figured I'd jump in and hop in there. There's a little bit of a buzzing sound there, maybe off of one of our mics or something along those lines. And I will say, communication is key in Overcooked. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you not to talk, but oftentimes when I go back and I'll do kind of the live commentaries, and I'm sure you've heard them throughout the channels I've put them on there, sometimes there really isn't that much communication. You know, we talked beforehand, here's the plan, here's what it is, it's a matter of executing. You know, there could be things that change, and you could kind of, I don't know, look at things a little bit differently and, you know, maybe make a mistake, and you have to kind of communicate that thing. But oftentimes when I roll with the captain, man, we kind of like, yo, here's what we're doing, here's what we're doing. When this happens, this happens. If there's a huge change stage or anything like that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then from there, it almost works itself out kind of thing. Now, with stages that involve more movement, it really is the ones where you kind of get screwed and split into different sides, where like one of you's on the left, one of you's on the right, and you got to be like, you can't get there, and you're like, hey, do this, do that. But a stage like this, we clearly told, I believe that's, it might be Beth over there, the one who's flying up and down over there. She was kind of in charge of all that kind of jazz. And then the captain and I are kind of serving, plating, moving, cooking this side, cooking that side. It's interesting, too, to play. I played a large stretch, as you see on the channel, with the captain. Just one person, two people, basically. And then sometimes we introduce a third person over there. And at times, especially like when we're in person, we have some people over. We'll do the 4 players, and it's interesting to see the differences. Obviously, the scores are different, I'm pretty sure, but more so just what you can do. In some stages, it's a little bit easier when you have extra people. Like in this one, for example, to me, I think 3 is a very good number for what's happening here. Oof, both of those were on fire, because one person could kind of do what they're doing, and the other 2 could kind of do what they're doing. With 2 people, we'd have to play it differently. We'd probably have to take turns as to who's flying up and out of there. Or maybe somebody is just doing the flying up there, and the other one does this whole like side down here with some moments over there. And with 4 people, it'd be even more different, because there might be some traffic issues with the cannon, for example. So it's a really good thing that Overcooked managed to master. And, you know, it scales a little bit, shall we say, with the scoring system. But more important than that, it's just how it plays. And one of the cooler things about the game is the how it modifies and how the player could modify it based on what's actually happening. So, you know, here's how the game's meant to be played, here's how it's done, but the player could be 2 players, could be 3 players, could be 4 players, and then you kind of have to adapt from there. And to me, it's one of those things that makes Overcooked a really special game, a really special party game, is that almost every single time you play it, it's not 100% the same, depending on who you have, and then depending on the player's skill level, too. Oftentimes, this will be a game that I play with my girl, that you know, I play with my friends, and, you know, maybe some gamers that don't actually game is like hardcore. You know, they ain't putting out that Wasteland Wednesday kind of footage every Wednesday we put on the channel. They ain't got games beating every Monday. You know what I'm saying? Now we just doing plugs for the channel. They don't beat every Elden Ring boss on Fridays. You know, that's not something that they do. But they can step in and get to some chefing. And you have to play differently depending on that. Sometimes I'll cover a little more ground. Sometimes I'll cover a little less. Sometimes I'm the shot caller. Sometimes I let them be the shot caller, because it makes them feel more comfortable. It's unique in that sense that there isn't necessarily a right or wrong way to do things. There's just ways that are more right and ways that are more wrong to do things. But hey, 4-star gang, killed it.